when I had first come to Canada, I did a few, I was trying to figure out where I was gonna stay, and I came to Nova Scotia, trying to figure out what area is best for me. So I moved a few times, and during one of my moves, as I was moving into the apartment building, this new apartment building that I had moved into or chosen to go into, there was a hijabi Egyptian woman. Her apartment was downstairs, and I was helping the movers carry stuff, and I don't know what it is about me that she saw and immediately determined that I was Arabic. I mean, I don't look Canadian, although now, who knows what a Canadian looks like. You know, you get the radical Islamists now, and they're Canadian. So she started talking to me in Arabic, and she was shaming me about not wearing my hijab. And she was telling me that I give Islam a bad name because I took off my hijab, which should be my pride. She kept doing this over and over. It was like 3 different times of me going back and forth to the truck, to the point that I stopped. And I spoke to her in English, not in Arabic. And I told her to leave me alone. And if she would not leave me alone, that I was going to contact the police. And then I went to the super or landlord or whatever, and I told them. And he did call the police. And surprisingly enough, within a month, this woman was deported, because apparently she was, her visa had expired. And she was so angry and hostile, and she was causing so much trouble in this building, and she ended up getting deported. So I was happy. But there's a reason I'm telling you this story. It's because I've reached a point now where I don't know what the future is going to be like in Canada anymore. We truly are. I'm lost. Like, do you know what Canada's going to look like in 5 to 10 years? Do you know if your justice system is going to get corrupted to favor one group of people over you? Do you know if Sharia law is going to become law in Canada? Or do you think everything's just going to be fine and dandy? And what happens when a Muslim attacks you? What happens when a migrant steals from you? What happens when a child is beaten or raped or killed by one of these people? What happens? Do we get justice still? Or will the law shift to side with these people? What do you guys think? I wonder. I'm lost here, like in my thoughts, in imagining the hell that I ran away from here, all of a sudden in Canada. I was talking to someone this morning, and I actually said that in less than a year, I can't believe the change that I've seen in my immediate environment, the province that I live in, as well as on the federal level in this country. Even the stuff that I don't see, like I know that the illegals are being housed in hotels that are costing us billions. I know this. This wasn't our reality 3 years ago. So where will we be in 5 years from now? The Migration Pact's been signed. Canadians haven't done much. A few yellow vest protests here and there. Other than that, you know, everything's still tickety-boo. And he's still calling us white supremacists and racists, and now this, like, the censorship has now really begun. I had a post on Instagram where I spoke about the United Nations, the compact on migration. That post was taken out by Instagram. It was taken off, it was deleted. I've never had any post deleted from Instagram before. That was a first for me. So Twitter, I know I get suspended like when I breathe on Twitter. So how much of this will you guys tolerate, and will you allow before you decide that this is not good for your country? I was reading about the Muslim population, and there's a reason that I'm reading about the Muslim population, and there's a reason I want to know the statistics, and it's not because I want to spread fear-mongering against Muslims, nor am I an Islamophobe, nor am I a racist, because Islam isn't a race, and a Muslim is not a race. I'm none of that stuff, nor am I a white supremacist, because I'm actually not white, nor am I a supremacist. So Muslims in London in 2001 were just over 607,000, okay? And this is from the Office of National Statistics. In 2011, they rose to compose about 12.4% of the population. Currently, well, I shouldn't say that, because I don't see any numbers beyond 2011 for England, nor do I see any numbers beyond 2011 for Canada, unless they're hidden somewhere. So 21% was the population of England in 2011 that was Muslim. And they are mostly from South Asia, like Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, Afghanistan, some Arabs. But those are mostly the Muslim population that is in England is from there. And I can tell you enough that these people are not civil. And I mean, whatever you want to call me, right? Because Pakistan just put out a fatwa calling for the death of Imam Tawhidi. These are the countries that now create the majority of the Muslim population in England. In Canada, again in 2011, ironically, then from the National Household Survey, we have just over 1 million Muslims, 1,053,945 Muslims in Canada. So they compose about 3.2% of the population. Islam is the second largest religion in Canada after Christianity. These are the statistics from 2011. Again, I don't have any numbers. I don't see any numbers. I don't know when these statistics are done. Are they done every 10 years? Are we suddenly going to do a count and find that we have been tipped over to the 30% number and we are now a Muslim majority? And Canadians don't know what a Muslim majority is. And they won't listen to people like me. Not all, of course. But I truly enjoy being called all kinds of names. And one big thing I want to say to you guys is that you don't know the pain and agony and disgust and fear people like me feel when you spit in our face as we warn you about the danger that it has fully arrived here. For me to be called an Islamophobe, for me to be called all these names, the racist and the Nazi and the white supremacist and the hater and the dipshit. Matthew Sears, professor in New Brunswick, University of New Brunswick, attacked me. Was it last year? I think it was last year, in one of my old accounts. He created, I entered a debate with him on Twitter. He's a Canadian guy, white guy. And I disagreed with him. He was quiet. 2 to 3 days later, he retweeted my tweet with a full thread of assault on me. And he gathered his lefty cult follower students from the University of New Brunswick and called me every name. A dipshit, a selfish immigrant, everything. And it amazed me because he not only endangered me, I had in my description that I am ex-Muslim and that I ran from Saudi Arabia. He ripped me to shreds. He vilified me and dehumanized me in front of his students, and these people aren't even Arabs or Muslims or refugees. They just have an agenda, this postmodernism, where they just create stuff and make it stick like it's a fact. His entire students would not stop. I'm actually surprised my account didn't get suspended at that point. But they scared me, and I don't scare easy. They scared me. So between the radical regressive left and the Islamists, because the radical regressive left in universities and the media right now, which Justin Trudeau has fully, like they are completely under his wing at this point, they will shit even over the immigrants like us. We came here. I have a refugee living with me. He's also ex-Muslim. They call him an Islamophobe. Canadians call him an Islamophobe and refuse to talk to him. He just arrived to Canada. So now they have separated refugees and immigrants into the good kind, who are the Islamists and the danger for this country. These are the people that the left supports. And then the rest of us who fled the persecution in our countries, we're no good. They don't want us. We are lumped in with you guys as white supremacists. I just wanted to explain this to you because this is killing us. It's hurting us. I've lived here long enough that I actually did enjoy some peace and quiet when I was asleep, when I was dormant and I didn't know what was going on. Now I'm awake. But the refugee that I know, he just came. He didn't get a chance to breathe. And he's already in another war, being persecuted and called all kinds of names. I don't know. I just wanted to rant a little bit. I don't have a video to show you or anything really. I'm sad for Canada and what's happening. I would like it to get fixed. I'm doing my part, but I don't know how to fix this. When I see places like France taking back their country, like Belgium where the government completely collapsed, like the States who are protecting their borders, I feel jealous. There's an envy inside of me. But I'll wait and I'll stick this through. I'll fight with you. I will help. But I truly, truly hope that we win because I'm very concerned at this point. What are you guys doing, by the way? Have you started preparing for anything? I truly want to know because I need to move forward as well. I will not leave Canada. If this is the end, then it's the end, then Islam will get me, finally. But I won't go out without a fight. But I refuse to run away again. I've done it. I've done it once. Once is enough. I can't start a life again. I'm too old. So what are you guys doing? How are you preparing? Are you moving out of the city, like what I'm thinking of doing? Are you pulling your kids from school? Homeschooling them? Are you preparing for a war? Buying supplies, making sure you have an alternate power source? Or are we all just pretending that life is fine and dandy and just, going along with the flow until the shit hits the fan? What are your thoughts about the future, near and far? Please comment, let me know your thoughts. I'm going to post my podcast links again. It's quite critical that we do this and that I have your support. This podcast has a potential to be a humongous weapon against the Islamists. It actually is a weapon, and it is being used as a weapon. Take care. Comment below. Thank you.